Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are in search for some Taco Tuesday inspiration, then this is the video for you. In today's video, we are making Birria de Res tacos with Consome. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Alright, so I am losing daylight, so we're just going to finesse this that we can. Okay, perfect. So guys, we had a really long day. We finished our Birria de Res tacos, and we have some Consome to go with it. I have a nice mango margarita, some homemade guac. So this is like a perfect Taco Tuesday, anytime, day type of meal. It's tacos, like it was a lot of work to go into the shredded beef, but let me tell you that it was just worth it. It tastes really good. I can't wait to just take a bite. So here we go. First, take a sip of this. Alright, so let's get into these tacos. Birria de Res is a Mexican beef stew that's full of flavor, and since we are making this in the crock pot, every ingredient really counts here. There are many different chiles you can use, but today I'm using chiles guajillo and chiles anchos. Since I live in Brooklyn, I was able to buy all of my ingredients at the grocery store around the corner. So you should be able to find these dried chilies at a farmer's market or an international food store wherever you live. We're going to begin prepping our chiles by de-seeding them. You want to remove most, if not all, of the seeds, just to help control the spice level. And also later when we want to strain our Consome, we'll have less seeds to worry about. You can also play around with the ratio of chile. So I did a 2:5 ratio. That's what one of the recipes I had read called for. But I also noticed that there are a lot of different combinations, especially if you decide to add other types of chiles like New Mexico chiles or whatever you can find at your grocery store. So now that we're done de-seeding our chiles, we're going to go ahead and grab a cup of water and place it on a saucepan over low heat. And what we're going to do, we're going to soften the chiles in the water for about 5 to 10 minutes. You could also add garlic and onions to the saucepan to soften, so when it's time to put everything in the food processor, we're guaranteed a smooth base. Now that the chiles are softened, we are going to begin making the base of the Birria de Res by adding the chiles and the water from the saucepan to the food processor or blender if you have one. The base will literally make or break how this comes out, so it's really important that you take your time to season everything well. Here we're going to start adding our spices, and the more spices, the more complex flavor we're going to get. So we are going to be adding some paprika, some dried oregano, dried thyme, cumin, and cinnamon. I only had ground cinnamon in my cabinet, but if you happen to have cinnamon sticks, that's even better. Because I put way too much cinnamon in the food processor, but with the cinnamon stick, you could just add that to the crock pot and then take it out when you think the stew has a sufficient cinnamon flavor. I forgot to mention you want to add a couple of bay leaves and you want to add a white onion. I only had red, which worked fine, but if you have a white onion, use that. As you can see here, I went a little overboard with the cinnamon, and so I had to go back and add some more spices to help balance that out. I did notice that my stew had a strong cinnamon flavor, so this is why I recommend using the cinnamon stick versus using ground cinnamon. Once everything is blended together, you're going to end up with a really pretty red paste. That is going to be the base for the stew, and here I am going to take a quick taste test. Not bad, it's spicy. It doesn't taste that great, but I'm going to add that to the crock pot. And then when you cook it, when you let it simmer overnight, you can add more salt or more pepper, add whatever else, other spices you think it might need. I'm using a round rump roast as my cut of meat, but whatever you can find will work just as well. We are going to prep our cut of meat by taking out the package, and then we're going to rinse it off with some cold water. Then we're going to season both sides with some salt and pepper. And here we can witness another seasoning accident. I didn't take the lid off properly, but we made it work. Seasoning the cut of meat and searing it on all sides is going to help lock in that flavor. You don't want to just season the meat raw and just place it straight in your crock pot. You really want to do this step and making sure that we're locking in all that flavor. And again, we're just searing the sides, we're not cooking it, so a minute on each side is perfectly fine and will be enough. Alright, we have our meat seared, so we're going to move everything to the crock pot. When you add the beef to the crock pot, make sure you scrape all the good bits off the pan into the pot. We finally get to add the base to the crock pot, and you also want to add equal parts beef stock and water, or you could just add all water, and if you have beef bouillon cubes, those would also work. Using the liquid to help clean out the container so I could get all the base in there and not leave any out. Now that everything is added, we're going to put the crock pot on low and head to bed. Hey guys, so it's the next day, so I'm just gonna update you on what we've done so far. So we had seasoned and seared our meat on all sides. We had chopped up the chiles guajillo and the chile anchos. We made a nice little paste with all that stuff in there. We blended up in the food processor. We added everything to the crock pot, added some water, and added beef stock. So we did all of that and we left it on low overnight. So right now it's been in the crock pot for about like 20 hours, right? It's been there for a really long time. I kept it in there only because I had other things to do today, some more writing down some content, doing some editing, and so I just let it sit in the crock pot. So go, if you have the time to just let it sit, go ahead, because it's just gonna end up being a beautiful right after. So we're just gonna take a look at it. All right, so this is what the meat looks like. I already went ahead and shredded it, but if you can see like how beautiful that color is, and look at that, it's perfect. We still have a few more things to do. So the first thing is that we're going to chop some onions and some cilantro. We're also gonna make some guac because I love guac. And then assemble our tacos. We're gonna shred some cheese so we get nice and melty on there. We're going to drink, make our margaritas. Since we're making tacos, the toppings are optional and up to you. So if you're not a fan of like onion, cilantro, or guac, go ahead and just make your favorite toppings for it. There's really no wrong way to dress a taco. Just enjoy it however you choose to. I'm just making guac, you know, the regular traditional way. We have our cilantro, our white onion, we're gonna add tomatoes, avocado, lime juice, and salt. And I also like to add a dash of cumin. And so I'm just gonna let you guys enjoy the clip of me chopping some vegetables and mashing some avocados, and hope you enjoy. Keep on watching. I'm gonna go ahead and do my call to action plug. So if you haven't done so, be sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and give me a thumbs up if you enjoy watching, and comment below and let me know your favorite taco topping. If you notice in the opening clip, I kept the avocado pit in the guacamole, and I do that because it helps prevent the avocado from browning. I do not know the science behind that, but I do know that it works very well. So if you didn't know, now you know. If you're wondering why I didn't mash my avocados before I added the other ingredients, I also don't know why I did that. I tend to mash my avocados first and then add everything else, but you know, we just roll with however it goes. And of course, we have to taste test everything, making sure everything is seasoned well. I had to turn off the audio because I had copyright music in the background, but this is me just raving about how good the guacamole is. Here I have some queso blanco, which is just a white cheese that we're going to shred and add as a topping. Alright guys, so we are about to strain the liquid that the Birria de Res made, which is called Consome. And all we're doing is just taking the broth, we're straining and getting any bits of meat or anything that didn't dissolve all the way, just so we have a nice smooth liquid. And although we're making tacos today, this can be eaten by itself as a soup, and that's kind of where I got the inspiration from. So I ordered from my local Mexican restaurant, and they have this stew, and it's my favorite, and I just eat it straight out the cup. But I decided to turn it into tacos because I had corn tortillas left in my house. But again, you could eat this straight from the pot. Like, you don't have to do any of this extra stuff that I'm doing right now. So I'm taking about half a cup of the consomme that I had just strained and putting on a plate. And what we're going to do is we're going to dip the tacos in that liquid and then fry them on the skillet. But we're going to see how well that worked for me. The idea was to create this nice cheesy taco by soaking the tortilla in that liquid and getting it that nice red color. But what was happening is that my tortillas just got stuck on the skillet. So I'm not really sure like what was it. Was my skillet too hot? Was it the tortillas that just couldn't handle it? I can't figure it out because any video that I watched, they did this seamlessly and they came out so pretty. But for me, we just had some issues. I also thought like maybe I'm just leaving the tortillas on the skillet too long, so I was just trying to move faster, but it really didn't matter how fast I was moving, it was still getting stuck. So we can see from my failed attempt, I even tried to get a new skillet and see, but they were still falling apart on me. Ooh, I'm sweating. Let me stop. All right, so clearly there's, for some reason, my corn tortillas are falling apart. I knew I should have just made corn tortillas from scratch, but I was like, no, I have corn tortillas, I don't need to do that. And I feel like because they're store-bought and not like freshly homemade, this is why they're falling apart on me. So I'm going to change my strategy, so I'll still be able to put the tortilla in the console. I forgot the word. So instead of making the taco on the pan and trying to melt the cheese, I'm just going to dip the tortilla into the stew sauce. Then I'm going to fry it on both sides and I'm going to plate it, and then I'll just do my tacos that way. Honestly, it tastes really good. It just look really ugly, and I need to make a thumbnail and make some posts for Instagram. So we're just going to make it look pretty, and we'll be right back. All right. I still went ahead and dipped my corn tortillas in the Consome so it could get that pretty red color and I could heat up the tortillas. And I only fried it for like 5 seconds. And then I transferred everything to the plate and started assembling my tacos this way. I wanted to let y'all know, like, leaving the meat in the crock pot for so long was worth it. So this is not something you want to make in a rush. You really just want to let it stew for as long as it can in the crock pot so it could come out just nice and shredded and tender, and it's just beautiful. And if you don't have a crock pot, you could also make this on the stovetop. Just know, like, the longer you let it simmer on the stovetop, probably for like 3 to 4 hours or more, the better. And here's the final product. We have Birria de Res tacos con Consome, and topped with some queso blanco, some onions, and some cilantro. And y'all, I had so much fun making this. It was simple, like simple enough since I just had to leave everything in the crock pot. The most complex thing about the meal is just making sure you get that flavor out of there. Like, don't be afraid of the spices, just go for it. And of course, you can't have Taco Tuesday without a margarita. So I am making a simple syrup, which is equal parts sugar and water. And I added some frozen mango to the mix. We're gonna put that simple syrup fruit mix in the food processor and blend it so you get a nice concentrated puree. If you're not a mango fan, just go ahead and substitute with your favorite fruit. What we're essentially doing is replacing the need for a margarita mix. So if you want that classic lime flavor, just add lime to the simple syrup. So we're gonna add a generous amount of tequila. Then we're gonna add the puree. I should have let it cool down, so don't be like me. Let it cool down before you add it because it was really hard to manage since the glass bottle is really hot. Then I'm going to add some orange juice just to mellow out the tequila flavor. And then lastly, some salsa water just to make it less sweet because the simple syrup will make it very sweet. And then here I am adding ice to help cool down the mix faster. So again, Birria de Res is just a Mexican stewed beef. Like, think about pot roast, right? And I made this all in the crock pot so the meat is super tender. Topped it with some onions and cilantro with some queso blanco. And I'm gonna dip it into the Consome, which is just the sauce that all of that made in the crock pot. That's good. That is really good. And this is why I love cooking. I get an idea, give it a try. Try to originally fry these tacos in the pan, did not go well, complete fail, so I had to end up just assembling like regular tacos. Either way, it all tastes good. I think next time I want to do some handmade corn tortillas from scratch. It's really easy. Let's dip it into this really fresh guac. This is really good. If I went too fast with anything, with my voiceover and anything like that, I'm just gonna link the videos that I watched to get like inspiration for this. I didn't make it the most authentic way. I just did what I could, but totally worth it. So please give it a try. If you like what you saw today, go ahead and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And the biggest thing I could say is just share. So if you thought this was entertaining, thought I did a really good job, go ahead and share with like 2 or 3 friends. Let me know in the comments below how many friends you shared it with. And yeah. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, guys. Bye.